Hello and welcome to Good Game Spawn Point. I'm Jem, and coming up on the show, we review the Battle Royale where little jelly beans try to make it through hilarious challenges in Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. And we go on a vacation from all that chaos to check out the bright, beautiful puzzle adventure of the Touryst. Now, if only I could somehow combine those two and go on a vacation full of jelly beans, that'd be awesome. What? Oh, no way! It's rated jelly beans! This is really cool! Okay, wow, they're really coming down, aren't they? Okay, yep, okay, quick, start the show! Developed by Mediatonic, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is an online battle royale game set on the world's most colourful obstacle courses, where 60 jelly beans in funny costumes enter, but only one can be the victor. Matches are broken up into 5 rounds, which cycle between the 24 available maps. Depending on the type of game you're playing, only a certain amount of players will make it through to the next round, whittling down the competition until a final winner has been determined, usually in a life or death scramble. At the moment, there are 4 categories those 24 maps fit into: race, team, survival, and final. Races kick off most games, where you and your competition scramble to reach the end of the course to qualify for the next round. Teams break you all up into groups and make you work together to dominate the field and be the ones left standing. Survival is every jelly bean for themselves, where your only goal is to outlast the other players. And final is the closing round, where all that matters is that you get to the crown first. Which I have still not been able to accomplish yet. Not for lack of trying though. You see, Fall Guys is as much about luck as it is about skill. Because let's just say, these little jelly beans aren't going to be winning any parkour contests anytime soon. When separated from the herd, your biggest challenge is the obstacles themselves. The characters handle fine, if a bit on the wobbly side. But when you're in a clump of players all scrambling to get ahead, pushing and shoving, you'll be struggling to keep yourself upright and running in a straight line. And because it gets so chaotic so quickly, you kind of just learn to adapt and throw caution to the wind, which in turn makes everything that much more chaotic. There's a good variety in the games you'll be playing, and I still don't think I've played through them all yet. My personal favourites are Gate Crash, where you have to jump over blockades, mostly because nailing that final jump was a massive ego boost. And Jump Club, where you have to avoid being taken out by these 2 rotating poles. Of course, you'll also grow to despise seeing some levels pop up on your screen, tail tag, which basically boils down to, well, you, give me your tail. Give me your tail! Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Oh, no! Oh boy, I don't get mad often, but that one made me mad. Thankfully, this chaos is contained to small doses, as most rounds usually don't go on for more than a few minutes. And like any battle royale game, or video game in general, taking breaks is important, and it's best to quit while you're ahead. At the moment, Fall Guys is only available for PlayStation and PC. There is a microtransaction component that lets you pay real money for kudos, which is the game's currency that you normally earn by taking part in games. These let you buy cosmetic items like costumes, colour skins, and emotes. Now, these are entirely optional, but still something you'll need to check in with a grown-up for before hitting that add to cart button. And as this is an online game, you will need a strong internet connection to play. Now, while I haven't experienced these troubles myself, I have seen a lot of people complaining about a lack of available servers or frequent dropouts, which is really frustrating. But the devs have spoken out about these issues, so hopefully we'll see a fix soon. Overall, to me, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is the battle royale game for everyone, pros and casuals alike. It's also the perfect example of easy to learn, hard to master. It's a fun, silly lark, and for those with a competitive streak, it'll definitely get the blood pumping, but will never overstay its welcome, thanks to those quick match times. Server issues aside, Fall Guys is one of the most entertaining games I've played this year, so I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
You know, I heard that former ABC News presenter Richard Moorcroft used to keep a flying fox he cared for at his news desk. Oh, maybe I could get one of those. Greetings and welcome to The Scoop! Let me take you through some of the latest gaming news. First off, and some news on Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, the new online battle royale party game taking the gaming world by storm. Although Fall Guys has only been out for a short time, some players have managed to nab an achievement thought impossible by the game's lead developer. The Infallible trophy is earned after 5 consecutive wins, and within 24 hours of the game's release, at least 33 players have managed to earn it. Those must be some lean, mean jelly beans. On to some other news from the gaming world now, and the very cute, very colourful Pikmin 3 is coming to Switch later this year. The game first launched on the Wii U 7 years ago, but this updated version, known as Pikmin 3 Deluxe, will include full story mode co-op, all the original game's DLC missions, plus extra side missions, and enhanced in-game options. Everything old is new again. Finally, for this week, a few things from PlayStation's latest State of Play online showcase. We heard more about the new Crash Bandicoot 4, including that the entire game can be played as Coco. Certain parts of the game will also allow you to play as Neo Cortex and even Dingodile. We'll also soon be seeing a revamp of the classic puzzle adventure Braid in Braid Anniversary Edition. And there was a bit more about the long-awaited Spelunky 2, due for release in September. Plus, we know Bugsnax has a catchy theme, but now we've also glimpsed some of the gameplay in action. Oh, talking about Bugsnax. Talking about Bugsnax. And now we simply must take a look at another fantastic creation in the Extra Scoop. A Minecrafter known as Fundy has made a fully playable version of Minecraft within Minecraft. A Minecraft Matryoshka doll, if you will. With each block used as an individual pixel, Fundy also managed to replicate his own computer in the game. And finish the game to boot. Mind-bending. Well, that's it for The Scoop this week. Until next time, so long. Now, I'm not saying I need to have a flying fox specifically. I think a bilby or a bandicoot would also work. A Crash Bandicoot, perhaps? No, too destructive.
In these wild times, it's hard not to let your mind wander to a peaceful beach getaway. Chilling by the water, sipping on some tropical juice, desperately evading a block-based serpent. Did I lose you in that last bit? Well, you're obviously a boring tourist. Originally released on Switch late last year, The Touryst has found a second home on both Xbox One and PC, so I thought it was high time to take a look. Arriving on Tourist Island, you set off on your little holiday, though you don't get far before stumbling through an ancient temple and encountering a mysterious old fella in a Hawaiian shirt, propelling you on a journey to find 4 ancient monument cores. A compelling but pretty simple jumping off point, right? Well, one of the game's greatest strengths is its focus on moment-to-moment stories and tasks. There's no deep lore to get bogged down in, it's all just fun. Oh, and one tip, talk to everyone. Seriously, almost every NPC will either give you a quest or offer a hint towards one of those ancient monuments. As you travel between multiple islands, going from person to person, you may find your task list growing rapidly. But unlike other games in the genre, each end goal feels obtainable and thus never overwhelming. Also, there's generally only 2 screens of text to read. One of my biggest pet peeves is walls of text. This game nails it. Also, every task you do is incredibly different. Seriously, if I tried to name everything you do in this game, it would take forever. Let's try forever. Deep sea diving? Cool. Drone racing? Huh, sure. Spelunking in a mine? Huh, don't see why not. splashing through a surfing competition? Technically speaking, I did it, but just not well. And that was just the first half of the game. Without spoiling it, there's a slight shake-up to the narrative later on, not that I needed any extra excitement to keep me on board. Oh, and one of my favorite, more simpler moments was coming across a dance floor. After taking a quick dance break, the DJ told me to pump up the tunes. I feel like that's his job, but whatever. I flicked on the lights, turned up the smoke machines, and reconnected the speakers. Done? No. He then gave me the task of finding him more music scattered across the world. Each task reaps another, but they never feel overly complex or unachievable. It's just a steady drip feed of things to do. Oh yeah, and the main crux of the game, tracking down those ancient monuments, well, once you've finished with your dance party, let's get adventuring. Most islands pose a monument to unlock, usually through a somewhat obscure task such as stone matching puzzles or corralling some clownfish. Once inside, there's a little bit of clever platforming and eventually a boss battle. Most of these battles are an ingenious puzzle, making use of all the abilities and techniques you've learnt up to this point. But there was the occasional brick wall of, huh? Some of these serpent menaces posed puzzles that really broke my brain, and even when I'd figured it out, the solutions seemed impossible. But they weren't. There's just a few brief moments of frustration in an otherwise chill and easy game, and having a bunch of tasks and boss battles is fairly common practice in a game like this, but add on a brilliant visual style and we've got a winner on our hands. The voxel design brings such a playful feel, and it marries with the retro-styled gameplay perfectly. The low depth of field blurriness might not be for everyone, but I adored its forced miniature perspective. The world is full of some wonderfully unnecessary little touches too. From gates that swing to ropes that contort as your blocky body pushes past them. And look, you give me the option to sit or lay on almost anything, I'm gonna give every surface my butt seal of approval. I'm not generally the biggest fan of backtracking open-worldy games. They often get bogged down in fetch quests and far too much deep lore, but here, everything just works. There's stacks to do between the game's challenging boss fights, quests, and tasks, but it never overstays its welcome at around 6 hours worth of playtime. This game is so incredibly chill, which is pretty apt considering our little holidaying hero. I'm giving The Tourist 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Now, if you don't mind me, back to holiday mode.
Okay, there's no time like the present for the gift of Ask SP. So let's unwrap our first video, which comes from Phoebe.
Hi GGSP. Today I would just like to ask if there are any games about sloths, orangutans, or flamingos. And would you suggest any simulation games or any free games on Steam? Thank you, bye!
Thanks, Phoebe. If you're after some games that feature sloths, orangutans, and or flamingos, well, there is a pretty fun sloth game called Sloth Quest for PC. It's sort of a platformer where you swing around as a sloth. You might also like the frog detective games, like The Haunted Island, which is actually about solving the mystery of a haunted sloth. Oh, that's right, a haunted sloth. Oh, and did you know that some orangutans have been known to interact with the Xbox Kinect? Oh, they're basically gamers. But if you haven't played it already, Phoebe, my best recommendation for you is Planet Zoo. Not only does it feature a whole bunch of animals, including orangutans and flamingos, but it's also a simulation game, or strictly speaking, a management sim. It's great. Other sims that I think are well worth your time include 2 Point Hospital, City Skylines, Planet Coaster, and Parkosaurus. As for free Steam games, well, there's the very short and very sweet Kinoko. Or maybe the blocky adventure RPG Trove. For something simple, there's a small plant growing sim called Viridi. It's very calm and the music is nice, though there's not much game to it. It's more the kind of thing you just check in on from time to time. Or if the cartoonish fighting games are your thing, you might like Brawlhalla. But of course, keep an eye out for in-game transactions that often go hand in hand with free games. Hand in hand like a couple of floating otters. Have you ever seen that? It is so cute. But moving on now to our next question. This one comes from Noah, Lord of the Underworld, in Geelong, Victoria. Hello! Will the Xbox One become obsolete after the release of the Xbox X and PS5? P.S. How much wood can a wooden axe chop if a wooden axe could chop wood in Minecraft? Thanks! Thanks, Noah! First off, I think it's safe to say that the Xbox One won't fade away completely as soon as the next-gen consoles come out. In fact, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, said that new games from their studios made for the Series X will also be playable on Xbox One for the next few years at least. So players won't be forced to upgrade immediately just to play the new games. Which is good news for Xbox One owners, considering that new consoles can be quite expensive, especially upon first release. Now, as for your philosophical question about Minecraft wood chopping, well, I would imagine that a wooden axe would chop quite a lot of wood, actually. But puns aside, a wooden axe in Minecraft uses 1 durability point to break 1 block, and a wooden axe has a durability of 59. So that means it can break 59 blocks before it breaks. It's amazing what you can figure out with just a little bit of maths. Now, puns not aside again, let's have a video from Jack and Charlie.
We have 2 questions. 1. How do you do ray tracing in Minecraft? 2. How do you get Isabelle onto your island in Animal Crossing New Horizons? Thanks, bye!
Thank you, Jack and Charlie. Minecraft ray tracing. Well, Darren really is the expert on that, so let's give him a call and see what he says.
Greetings, you've reached Darren.
Hi, Darren. Rad here with Ask SP. Jack and Charlie just want to know how to do ray tracing in Minecraft. So could you shed some light on that, please? Get it? Ray tracing? Light? Shed?
Oh, very good, Rad. And affirmative. There are some unofficial mods out there for certain versions of Minecraft that can modify lighting and even add in ray tracing. Minecraft's official ray tracing feature is currently still in beta form, which is kind of an early access version. And for now, the beta is only available using the latest version of Minecraft Bedrock for Windows 10 PC, and using a particular type of graphics card that supports ray tracing. You can check out the Minecraft website to see whether or not your system is compatible, along with step-by-step instructions on how to access the beta if it is. It's possible official ray tracing may come to Minecraft on other platforms in some form at some stage, but we'll have to wait and see how this beta goes first.
Cool! Thanks for that, Darren. I'll catch you next time.
My pleasure. Hope you found it illuminating.
As for how to get Isabelle on your island in Animal Crossing New Horizons, well, Isabelle will join your island once Resident Services has been upgraded. But not before you go through a few tasks for the Nook family. For starters, you'll need to help Tommy and Timmy build the Nook's Cranny shop by collecting a bunch of different kinds of wood and iron nuggets. You'll also need to invite at least 3 new residents to your island, which you can do by using Nook Miles tickets to visit other islands. And make sure you follow Tom Nook's instructions for getting the island and the new homes all set up for their arrival. The day after you complete all of these tasks, Resident Services will get a nifty new look. And the lovely Isabelle will grace the island with her sunshine ever after. Aww. If you're just starting out in Animal Crossing New Horizons and are after some nifty tips, check out our guide, which you can find online. It's a tootin', fruitin', poopin' good time. But on that note, we are out of time for Ask SP. If you've got a question that you'd like to ask us, go here and send it in. And better yet, make it a video question. If it gets answered on the show, we'll send you some cool GGSP loot. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to look up more pictures of otters holding hands. Aw, that's so cute. Apparently they do that while they're sleeping so they don't float away from each other. Aww.
Well, that's all we have for today, but coming up next week, we'll be kick-flipping our way through a review of Skater XL. And as as always, if you need more, we've got another tasty snack-sized bite of GGSP for you. Just head to the ABC Me app and you can indulge in a special early hands-on with the beautiful-looking Aussie-developed survival game, Windbound.
Initially, you start out with little more than a grass canoe, but as you progress and explore more locations, gathering resources and recipes, you'll be able to build it into something far more spectacular.
But until next time, may all your games be good ones. We're out.
Rat out!
Gem out.